So here I am. I'm in this weird situation that is only made possible by the technology we have today. I'm talking to 56 strangers and more, other people that pass by here. I'm talking to the world, and I have literally no idea who who everyone is. Um, so that's kind of interesting. So I thought at least the least thing I could do is I could tell you guys who I am. So if you've subscribed to this channel and if you've been watching it for a while, you have the understanding. Okay, this guy Callen Clarke, he plays the oud. He plays Arabic music on the oud for some reason. We don't know why, but he does. So that's interesting because I'm not an Arab, as you can see. Um, what else does he do? What is he involved in? Where did he come from? A few of you who have subscribed, one guy I know for sure, know something else about me, and that is that 20 years ago, this year, I produced a CD called Verse. Ooh, lots of glare there. Okay, here's the title, Callen Clarke, Verse. And this CD made me famous. I'm a famous guy. I have like 2 fans in Canada, maybe more. I mean, there could be as many as 3. I don't know. I have at least 1 fan in France, uh, although he might have moved. I'm not sure. But anyway, I put this CD out, and this CD is a fairly unique CD. And as a result of my efforts early on, many years ago, around 2003, 4, and 5, people all over the world, a very select group of people, heard about this music and got interested in it. What is it? Well, if you look here on the back, you'll see these titles. And some of these titles are biblical phrases, and some of them relate to places in the Holy Land, okay? So this is a soundtrack to Scripture. This is music that is about the Bible. It's biblical music. And unlike most people in America that write music about the Bible, I wanted to make music about the Bible that actually sounded like it was from the same place as the Bible, which is to say, the Middle East. I got very interested in Middle Eastern music when I traveled to the Holy Land for the first time in June of 1998 with my wife, Becky. This is before we had any kids. And while I was there, I heard an instrument called the oud. I had heard about the oud 1 or 2 times before that. Never heard about it in music school. I had a degree in music composition. I'm an educated composer. Okay, so I studied composition. I learned how to orchestrate in college, how to arrange. I learned about theory and counterpoint and history and all that stuff. That's my background. I never once heard the word oud in college, ever. I heard about it a couple times, the Arabic lute. There is an Arabic lute out there somewhere. And then in 1998, we had a free day in the city of Jerusalem, Al-Quds, and I heard the oud for the first time in the hands of a master musician, a Palestinian named Muhammad. And that's all I know about this guy. He told me his name was Muhammad, and I recorded him playing, and his playing was professional. He played like he was a recording artist, okay? I've gone back to Jerusalem since then, and I've tried to track this guy down, because what he didn't know and what I didn't know in that moment, this deserves a whole video just for itself, but what he didn't know and what I didn't know in that moment was that he inspired me to change the whole course of my life and start exploring music from other cultures, specifically from the Middle Eastern culture. Really what happened was I fell in love with the sound of the oud instantly. I fell in love with it. And when I say I fell in love with it, I mean it was like I wanted that sound. Some people hear the oud, especially guitarists, they hear the oud and they get a hold of one and then they you know, play blues on it, you know, or they just play their music and they don't devote any effort to the technique or the history or the theory or so on. And their results are very, very meager because the oud is an instrument that requires sincerity and commitment in order to progress on it. Maybe every instrument is that way. But anyway, I wanted that sound. I wanted the Arabic sound for myself. I wanted to be able to make that sound. I bought an oud right then and there, took it home with me, and then I kind of set it aside because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to play it, and there was nobody around here who could teach me. But eventually, I found out about something called the Arabic Music Retreat. And in August of 2001, I traveled to Massachusetts and spent a week learning for the first time about the complexity and depth and richness and legacy of Arabic music. And it was a fantastic time. It changed my life. And I became even more committed to learning this. That's really when I became committed fully to the instrument. And so I began to record this album not long after that. August of 2001 is when I had my first lessons in my first classes in Arabic music. August of 2001. In September of 2001, of course, the world changed forever. And the 21st century really got going. And what the 21st century was going to be about really got going. From my perspective, what the 21st century has been about so far is prejudice, hatred, division, and social conflict. And so I am a hostage in the 21st century, and you are too. All of us are a hostage to these forces, trying to figure out how to navigate them. And many people in my country feel that the best way to fight social conflict is to create more of it. And I think we're beginning to get to the point now where we can see that's not working. So, anyway, because I learned about the oud on a trip to the Holy Land with people from my church to find out about all the places mentioned in the Bible, because that was the context that I first heard the oud, in my mind, I naturally associated the instrument of the oud, the Arabic oud, with the contents of Scripture. They were wedded in my mind, that association. As I began to, and so I made this album, and this album is, like I said, it's a soundtrack to Scripture. But I think it's fair to say that even now, even 20 years later, there haven't been any musicians from my little corner of Christianity that have gone further in the effort to really kind of try to capture some of the cultural depth and acquire some cultural literacy into the origins of the Bible. That is to say, to make music about the Bible that actually sounds biblical. That's what I wanted to do. How great would it be to put on an album and hear music that really does connect you with that time and place? This book here, see, can you read that? See what that says? It says Ul Ibli. But at one point it said Holy Bible. So this is Scripture. This is my book, Old and New Testament. This is the thing that is most important in my life. This is what I'm about as a musician and as a writer. Wait, he's a writer? He's a writer? Yes. In 2012, 13, I wrote the first part of a science fiction series called Ferratus. The first book was called Arena. I put it out on Amazon. And it was going to be the first part of a 3-book series. And then I got into writing, and I wound up writing a different book. So that science fiction series has lapsed a little bit. If you, by some miracle actually know about that series, and if you've read it and you want to read more of it, the second book is actually almost done, but I haven't put it out because the third book is very difficult, and I haven't been able to work out how I'm going to do the third book yet. But if there's interest, I'll probably finish it. So that's one thing I did. I also wrote a book called The Muslim, which is a cross-cultural romance, and I put that out in 2015, I think. And almost nobody has bought that book. I didn't do a very good job of promoting it. I could have made videos and so on to promote that book, but I didn't. And so it's mostly languished. But the friends of mine I have that have read it have said very nice things about it. And so most of my career has been involved in doing music, but I've also been a writer, and I've published novels. Unsuccessfully until now. I've been more successful with music than I have with writing. And the issue is promotion. How do you promote what you do? And from 2003 until about 2007, I had this band to promote what we were doing with verse, and so we made a lot of headway, and I sold quite a few of these. There's only a few of the actual hard copy verses left, and that's a shame because it's a full 16-page full color deal. I mean, it's a legit CD. If any of you are interested in getting the hard copy of verse, send me an email, and I'll get your address, and you can buy one. I made a second verse album called Verse 2 in 2017. That didn't sell so well because at that point I wasn't promoting that music. But it was music that I had that I was inspired by. And again, that has to do with scripture, so I put that out there. Verse 3 is very close to being done, and I'm going to put that out this year. And verse 3 is really going to be my effort to really deliver to the world what I think the music of the ancient Hebrews actually sounded like. In the process of trying to promote my writing separately, trying to promote my music separately, is I realized that I really was kind of dividing my energies. And if there was a way that I could combine my efforts as both a writer and a musician so that it's a unified project, then I would be creating music that is supporting my writing and writing books that are supporting my music, and it would all go together. This is what I call a dual platform project. And I'm currently at work, very close to finishing the first iteration of this dual platform project, and it's called Trace. And Trace is a 3-book series, or you could say it's a novel in 3 volumes, that deals with the fall of the Sultanate of Granada in 1492. It's a historical fiction. It's a historical fiction novel. I'm going to tell you a lot more about that. With this novel, I'm writing 3 concertos that relate to the 3 novels, the 3 books in the novel, and the 3 main characters that we follow their fortunes through the novel. And these concertos are concertos for string orchestra of about 20 players or so, and my band, 4 musicians. So you have a group of 4 soloists plus the concerto, and we're going to be recording that this year, and we're going to be releasing that this year, and we're going to be performing these concertos with orchestras, and then we're going to be releasing the album. And actually, there is more Trace music beyond the 3 concertos, because I wrote many solos on the oud that relate to this idea. And these, when I began to compose music on the oud and I began to think about late medieval Spain and the confluence of cultures, Jewish, Muslim, and Spanish, all mixing and mingling and working together and fighting in that area, I became fascinated by the whole deal. And these influences, Spanish and Spanish medieval and Renaissance music, Arabic music, North African, the Ella Andalusi from Morocco, um, European medieval music. I allowed all of these influences to modulate my composition of these works. So there's a lot of music. There's a lot of music that's coming. You're going to hear it. I hope this is of interest to you. I want to tell this story this year, story trace that I've written, this project, the music and the writing both. And I want to share it with you all if you're interested. And I hope that it's going to be popular. I want to build the channel. I want to, start using better cameras and better microphones. I have them. I just haven't used them yet. And I want to promote this project. It's a very important project to me. I've been working at it for more than 5 years now. I hope that it's a big success. That's really a big reason why this channel is here, so that I can promote this and so that it's going to be a big deal and so that everybody will read it and listen to it and hopefully get something out of it. If it's not popular, if it's not a success, I'm going to do it anyway. And if you're a musician, I think you know what I'm talking about. You have to have a reason for doing what you do. It can't just be, gee, I hope they like it. I've got something to say, and I want to say it, and it's important to me, and it matters. And so I'm going to say it, and it's going to come out there, and hopefully people will find it meaningful. Okay, just a couple little quick things, because I know a lot of you people are wondering, why is there an aquarium behind this guy? Why is he having an aquarium? Well, this is a new aquarium, and I like it, and I like fish, and also the rest of the house is kind of messy. I'm kind of a messy guy, and I have 4 daughters, and they all live at home, and I have a wife, and none of us are really neat people. So this is actually the nicest looking part of the house for the moment. I may change it later, but that's why there's aquarium. And why does the aquarium? Why does it look like nothing's working? Well, I turn the filter and the bubblers off when I do a video, so that they don't make too much noise with the mic in the computer. Okay. Why is it that the top of my head is always cut off? What's the deal? Well, behind the aquarium, there's my back window, and if I pull this up, there, see, all that glare, which is terrible. So I need to kind of figure out a new situation. But I'm not bald. I have hair, and it's kind of long right now. It hasn't always been that long, but as you can see, it's kind of long right now. So during COVID, I kind of stayed inside a lot, and we weren't getting a lot of gigs. And so I thought, well, I'll save my money and not get a haircut. And my hair got long enough that I thought, long hair kind of says musician, and that's what I am. So that's good. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. One last thing. In my profile, you see this ring. Why is this guy wearing this ring? Is he Jewish? What's the deal? Okay. This ring is a quote. This is my wedding ring. I've been married for more than 25 years now. And this is the wedding ring that I bought when we were getting married. And it's a quote from the most romantic book in the Bible, which is the Song of Solomon. And if you can see on there, let me get it, okay. You can see it says, Raiti li ve ani la. I will see her and she will see me. That's a quote from Song of Solomon. It's my wedding ring. That's why I wear it. Not Jewish, not trying to be Jewish, but very interested in Scripture. So that's what the deal is there. So thanks for stopping by. I have no idea who you are. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me who you are so that I know. That would be nice. I mean, you don't have to. I can just keep talking in complete ignorance of everybody who's connecting here. But I hope that you'll say something, so we can be connected, and so that we can make positive use of this amazing and somewhat problematic technology. Okay, that's all I have. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.